Hello, guys, and our another guest at Confetti Questionnaire is Jas Swan from Katla Wines. As you can see, German wines is being played out right now. It's great to have you here. It's great to have your wines. As far as I know, they still don't have the Polish importer, which is a shame. So, guys, Polish importers, I know you listen. Go up to the mezzanine, to the Antresola, and prepare a contract because the wines are amazing. I know what I'm talking about. I had an opportunity to try them today.
Oh my God.
And yeah, it's not I'm just being kind, it's true. Let's go with our questionnaire questions. And the first one is you can interpret it in a very narrow or more wider way. And it is what is the thing? What are you looking for in wine?
When I'm looking for in wine authenticity.
Close, yeah.
Like this is okay? This is
Yeah.
better? Okay, cool. I like wines that live and make me feel alive. So I'm looking for emotions. I'm looking, I guess, a certain je ne sais quoi, per se. I think there's nothing worse than a boring wine.
Je ne sais quoi is ich weiß nicht, yes? This is
Yeah,
what you're
and
looking for in
gewisses-
wines.
and gewisses netwas.
It sounds
a
better
little
in French, yeah.
Everything sounds better in French. And no, something to make me feel alive. Like if something is boring, like my life is really too short for boring. I want to feel. I want to have emotions. I want to have. I want to think about what I'm drinking. How does it make my hair stand up in my neck? Does this excite me? That's what I'm looking for, you know. And even if a wine is bad, then I'm thinking about, okay, why is this? Why is that? It's really interesting. Or how do I avoid that when I do it myself? You know. So that is also really interesting in a way. So boring is the only thing that I'm not looking for.
I understand because I had this theory once in my life. I even wrote a piece about it that wine doesn't necessarily have to be good in the terms of giving you a pleasure. It has to make you think. Yeah, there are some. I don't know. I had an opportunity to try wine from a totally dying French variety. I won't recall the name right now. It was horrible wine. It tasted like a zombie. Mm-hmm. But it was, I believe, the last few vines growing still, and the wine was still fighting. And I think I know what you mean when you say you're looking for an excitement.
Yeah, I mean, like, life is supposed to be exciting, and my time is valuable, so I want to have it to the fullest in those moments. So, and a good wine is not essentially like a perfect wine. Perfection doesn't exist, but where a lot of balances and layers come together, and maybe you have a little bit VA, but it's balanced because it has like some good tannin structures on the other hand. You know, there's so many layers that go into a good wine. And that's ideally what I'm looking for, like a good wine lasagna.
Great, thank you. The second question is my favorite from the set. What is, this very cool thing in wine that everybody seems to love and you hate it? I love this question.
I think that is the prices of Jura wines and how crazy people are
Prices
going
of
about.
Jura wines, yes?
And how crazy people are going about Jura wines, because it's not a criticism about the wines itself. They're incredible wines in a great region. But the hype about it that creates these awful prices is stupid for me. And I'm a big fan of affordable wines. I would like that my wines in the future are going to be more affordable. I have a very new business, so I have to take my certain prices. But when it goes into certain levels, I'm out. I think the best wine is a wine that we can all afford and that brings joy and happiness, you know. And how people are about Jura is just funny to me.
I think Jura may be like an example of the situation when I have this feeling from time to time when you don't feel the relevance of the price to the product anymore, and you are feeling that you're just paying for the fact that it's hard to reach, or it becomes unattached. It's a Marxist thing I'm saying here, but it becomes unattached with the product itself, yes, and it becomes a speculation, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it also attached to big names, and I find big names sometimes also quite boring. Like what? But I used to work in music, and when people were talking about big bands, I was always like, that sounds actually quite boring. And then I discovered it 10 years later, and I'm like, actually, they had something, and yeah.
I saw my friend walking here around, Maciek Murzyniec, if you hear me, with a bottle of Arbois Poupelon 2018 in his pocket. So Maciek, if you're hearing this, we still love Jura Wines.
Maciek, we see you though.
So if you have the bottle, come with it here. Okay, the third question from the questionnaire is, what is the most important thing that wine gave you in your life?
I think that's actually quite literally, wine has given me a voice. A voice.
A voice.
Yeah, like people listen to me. I can share important things. I can represent certain groups, like the queer community, women in wine, and I'm actually really proud of that. And it's something that I didn't have before I started working with wine, making wine, and I'm very grateful about it. And it's a great privilege to be able to talk to people.
And can you please elaborate and tell a few words more about the you said a voice to represent certain groups, etc. I think I know, but people listening may don't know. What are the groups? What are the causes you're standing for with your wine? Because I think it's pretty interesting in your case.
For me personally, I think I stand for the women in wine. The people that identify as women and the whole LGBTQIA community, which is all of it terribly underrepresented, and it's nice to bring that into this fun little festival, and into this world.
Here.
Here.
Yeah. And thank you for that, because you're doing an amazing job for the LGBTQ and women and underrepresented groups in wine, and it's nice to see that it's changing. And I don't think we would have the problem like this with this crowd and this venue, but conventional wine is still quite conservative. So it's great to see doing something actively about it.
I mean, it's like you can either accept the world around you how it is, or you can proactively try and change something. And I can do my little bits around me, and that's what I will do to make this world around me more comfortable for myself as well. At the end of the day, I'm also an incredibly selfish person. It benefits me to stand for these things because my community is growing out of that, and I'm meeting so many lovely people because of that. So I'm just really grateful and really appreciative.
Great, thank you. The fourth question of the questionnaire is, if it wasn't for the wine in your life, if you wouldn't be working with wine, doing wine, what would it be? What would be the second choice, or an abstract situation where for some reason you cannot work with wine? Where would you find the way for you to express yourself?
Originally, I really wanted to become a dressage horse rider, but that was when I was a child, so I have a little bit moved on from that. Also, I've gained some weight, like it doesn't work anymore. But I would work with music, I think. I love music, tour management, booking agent. I'm an awful DJ, but that would still be fun to do.
Welcome to the country of awful DJs.
Yep. Represent.
No, if there are DJs, and I know there are some DJs, I was just joking.
Andy Weigand is a DJ. I just want to say Andy Weigand is a DJ, and he's awesome.
I'm not
Hi,
serious.
Andy.
We have some great DJs in Poland, but hey, there are some guys from Berlin here, so yeah. Toute proportion, how the French people say. Okay, and the last question is it's a speculative one. In your opinion, what future does wine have? Do you think that wine needs to be saved from something, and if yes, from what and how? And we can talk about consumer trends and young people don't drinking wine, or how Maciek in the previous conversation told about the crazy weather and the fact that Maciek is on his phone from the very morning because he's just getting information from the Polish winemakers. It was -8 during the night, and the vines are already blooming in many Polish wineries. And this very night, the many Polish wineries were dying, in fact, yeah? So these are just few topics, yes, the changing consumer behaviors or the weather, the climate, but from your perspective, does the wine need saving, and do you know how to do it?
I have the solution to everything, so that's fine. No, I think wine needs saving. My classic answer will always be the patriarchy. But on a more serious, not on a more serious note, but on another note as well, climate change is a huge subject. I still remember 21, where the Ahr Valley and the Mosel Valley completely flooded. It's where I was based, and it was awful, and so many people have died, and wine was they were struggling to keep the wines healthy. There was so much rain. At the same time, there was the extreme frost in Jura. There was a tornado in Czech Republic. There was hail in Italy. It was a shit show of a climate year for Europe. And I think that was like the most scary year that I have experienced so far in my young winemaking career. I don't essentially think, though, that wine directly needs to be saved, because people have always drunk alcohol. Wine has been mentioned in Jesus. Apparently, Jesus was a winemaker, like that. It goes back years and years and years. Wine has survived world wars, a couple of them. People are happy wine drinkers, all in all. I think authentic wine needs to be saved, and natural wine has to be protected. That's, I think, what wines needs to be saved from.
Okay, thank you very much. Jas Swan, Katla Wines. If you want to try the wines, go upstairs. Worth it.
Thank you. Have fun, guys.